What's up, everybody? My name is Zach Pasquarello. Today is August 30th, 2024. It's Friday, and I want to make a video answering everybody's questions. Next week is the first week of September, which means I'm going to be very busy because I'm closing out everybody's books from the month before. I have 75 clients. I have been running my bookkeeping business for 4 years, and now I share my experience on YouTube simply because I love talking about my bookkeeping business, and it seems like you guys enjoy listening to me talk. So I have a ton of questions over the past few days. I usually try to respond to everybody's questions in the YouTube comments, but it's been a lot. So I'm just going to make a video answering everybody's questions. So if anybody has any other questions, drop a comment in this video and I will do my best to answer your questions. Subscribe to my channel. Obviously, I'm posting new videos every single week teaching you how to grow your own bookkeeping business, and I share my experience. Everything I talk about, everything I teach is literally what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm not a former bookkeeper who now just teaches other people. I am actually running my bookkeeping business right now. I just make these videos on the side. I also have a ton of resources for you. Check out all of the links in the description of the video. There's a ton of resources that I made just for you to help you start and grow your own bookkeeping business. Okay, let's jump right into it. I'm going to read people's questions and then I will answer them. This first person said, "Hi, I love the content. Do you provide payroll for an S Corp?" So I am an S Corp. My business is an S Corp, but I don't do payroll for anybody. I only do bookkeeping. However, if somebody is using ADP or some other payroll provider, I might help them enter in their pay for their employees on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis, but I really don't want to. I try to avoid running payroll at all costs. I will absolutely not file payroll taxes, but if somebody is using a payroll provider and they just need somebody to enter the information, I might do it. I really try not to, and I'm certainly going to charge extra if I do that. If you are an S Corp, you need to run payroll as the owner of the company, but I try not to. For other people, I do it for myself. I use ADP. I love ADP. They're a little bit expensive, but they're really good. Okay. Hi, Zach. I have a question. I'm taking a bookkeeping course at my community college, but I'm also taking an intro to accounting. Do I need to take the bookkeeping course, or would it be enough for me to learn bookkeeping from my accounting course? There's so much that goes into starting a bookkeeping business. Learning bookkeeping and accounting fundamentals is the first step, but there is so much more to being a business owner. Absolutely. You need to understand bookkeeping and accounting fundamentals. Taking an intro to accounting class is a great way to learn. Pay attention to this list. If you're brand new, write this down. Debits, credits, assets, liabilities, equity, balance sheet, income statement. If you can understand all of those things and how they work and the details behind all of those things, like what debits and credits specifically, if you can understand that stuff, income statement, balance sheet, if you can understand that stuff, you have a good enough understanding of bookkeeping fundamentals. And you're going to learn all of that in an intro to accounting course. A bookkeeping course at your community college, I'm not sure what they're teaching you, but this is just the first step. So you need to learn bookkeeping and accounting fundamentals, but then you also need to learn sales, marketing, customer service, onboarding clients, and everything in between. So I have a course. Check it out. The link is in the description of this video. I teach you bookkeeping fundamentals, and also, I forgot to mention, you need to know how to use QuickBooks Online. QuickBooks is a whole different beast, way above and beyond bookkeeping fundamentals. Honestly, bookkeeping fundamentals, pretty easy. QuickBooks, in my opinion, a lot more challenging. Okay, next person. Great video. Thank you very much. Is it best practice to hold off on creating rules in QuickBooks for a new client until you get a really good understanding of their activity each month? Yes and no. I will be hesitant to create too many rules. So I just recently started using rules. I did not use them before. Whenever I use rules, I exclusively use the bank text for my rules. I don't use description. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you're going to have to get into QuickBooks and create a rule to understand what I'm saying. I only use the bank text feature. and I use very specific words. So like, for example, if it's Home Depot, for the bank text, I will say the bank text needs to contain Home Depot. And then I'll categorize that as supplies and materials. And I'll say the payee is Home Depot. I always include a payee. And in the beginning, I am hesitant to create too many rules. I will definitely be slower in the beginning. I'll slowly add rules as I see transactions come up. But yes, take your time. Don't rush to failure. Take your time when using rules, but they will absolutely help you out in the long run. Okay, next question. Hi, Zach. I'm so happy to continue to receive your counseling and bookkeeping with your videos. I listen throughout the week on a weekly basis. I really appreciate your motivation. In your past videos, I was hoping you meant 5 days per week to do Facebook marketing, but in this video, I am more clear now. It seems like you are doing sales and marketing 7 days per week. That's not necessarily true. It all depends on how much time you have, and it all depends on how quickly you want to start and grow your bookkeeping business. If you want to take it slowly, and if you're okay with waiting 12 months, then you could spend 30 minutes a day. But if you want to go quickly, and if you want to quit your full-time job as fast as possible, maybe you're going to need to do, instead of 30 days, 30 minutes per day, 5 days a week, instead you might need to do 2 hours per day, 7 days a week. So you can start as slowly as you want. You can move as quickly and aggressively as you want. It all depends on you, your situation, and how much time you have. If you are a parent working a full-time job with 4 kids and after-school sports and everything else going on in life, you might not have as much time. If you're a fresh college graduate with no family and very few responsibilities, you might have more time. So it all depends on you and your situation. You can certainly start a bookkeeping business just by spending 30 minutes per day for 5 days a week, learning bookkeeping and starting to do sales and marketing. It's just going to take more time. If you want to start more quickly, spend more time in the beginning. Okay, does QuickBooks have simulations? Or how can you learn QuickBooks, get comfortable before you start doing the job? Two things here. QuickBooks does have a sample company. It's called like Craig's Landscape and Design. You can use the sample company if you have a QuickBooks Online accountant account. Definitely recommend it. Check it out. It has bank transactions connected to the bank feed. You can create invoices and sales receipts and bills, and you can record payments, and you can look at reports and balance sheet and profit and loss, accounts payable, aging report, all that fun stuff. You can create customers and vendors. You can do all that, pretend, with the sample company. But also what I do recommend is use QuickBooks, create a second QuickBooks account to track your personal finances. So you can create a free QuickBooks Online accountant account. It's totally free. Anybody can do it. You can create a free account, and then you can connect your personal bank account, your personal credit card to this QuickBooks account, and you can practice recording transactions and reconciling accounts and generating financial reports with your personal finances. So you can practice doing bookkeeping in QuickBooks, and also you can manage your personal finances, and you can actually see how much money am I spending in my personal life, and do I need to cut back on expenses, or what changes do I need to make? This is exactly what I do. It's a perfect way for you to learn how to use QuickBooks and also track your personal finances. Next question. I'm new to bookkeeping. I'm helping out a family member. They have only used QuickBooks to invoice and receive payment for invoices. If I add their bank account, will QuickBooks duplicate all the deposits for the invoices? This is very complicated. This is very messy, and I see this a lot. If you are manually creating transactions in QuickBooks, when you connect the bank feed, you need to match the bank deposit to the received payment that you manually created. If you don't do that, then yes, it will duplicate your revenue. Very, very important. You should be able to catch this when you reconcile your accounts, because if you're manually creating received payments and bank deposits, and then you connect the bank feed and you record transactions in the bank feed, when you go to reconcile your accounts, it should not work. There should be duplicate transactions when you reconcile. That's why it's so important to reconcile accounts. If you don't reconcile your bank accounts, you're never going to catch these mistakes. So yes, you do need to be careful. All you need to do is match. You're not adding, you're matching the bank deposits in the bank feed to the received payments that you manually created. So that statement right there, that makes no sense to people who don't know QuickBooks and don't know bookkeeping. But if you understand QuickBooks and you understand bookkeeping, that should make perfect sense to you. So if what I just said is confusing, you need to do some more research. If what I said makes sense, then listen, it's very, very important. You need to match your bank feed, bank deposits to your received payments. Do not add them separately. Hopefully that helps everybody. Also, do I need to add a starting balance to their bank, even though it already has a balance due to marking payments received? So yes, you always want to look at the balance sheet for whenever you're taking over a new account, especially if you're doing a cleanup project or a catch-up project. Let's say, for example, I'm starting January 2024 for a client who had their books in 2023, but it was really unorganized and it was not done properly. They just want me to start fresh in January 2024, but they were kind of using QuickBooks in 2023, but it doesn't matter. Like, disregard 2023. There's some information, it's not complete, it's not accurate. Start fresh in 2024. All you need to do is take the bank statement from January 2024, look at the beginning balance, and then make sure that the bank statement in QuickBooks, the bank account in QuickBooks, the ending balance for December 31st, 2023, make sure that matches the beginning balance for January 1st, 2024. And if it doesn't, whatever that difference is, you might need to do a journal entry to tie out the bank account in QuickBooks to the bank statement. Once again, that's another thing that if you don't understand bookkeeping in QuickBooks, that made no sense. But if you understand bookkeeping in QuickBooks, that statement should make sense. And if it does make sense, listen, because it's very important. If it doesn't make sense, I recommend you need to do a little bit more research. Let's see, next question. Thanks, as always, for the great content. You're welcome. I live between two cities in my state, one being more populous but with more bookkeepers, and the other the opposite. Less people, less bookkeepers. Because of the distance, they are considered different regions, south versus central. I initially set up my Google business listing and have focused my marketing in the less populous city with fewer bookkeepers, thinking there'd be less competition. But now I'm wondering if that was a mistake. Would love to know your thoughts. I think it's pretty easy to change the address on my listing if need be. So I would not try to game the system. I would probably set up my bookkeeping business wherever I'm located. I would not try to pick a location that makes more sense. Now, for me, so there's a city in central Pennsylvania called Harrisburg, and it's the capital of the state. And I technically don't live in Harrisburg. Like, I live across the river in like the suburbs, I guess you could call it. So I don't technically live in Harrisburg, but it is absolutely the closest city to where I live. So if I were you, Kevin, I would not try to game the system. It really doesn't matter, in my opinion. What matters so much more is your knowledge of bookkeeping, your presence on social media, your communication, your organization, and your ability to deliver high quality customer service. Focus all of your attention on those things, and the address on your Google My Business listing, I promise you, will not matter. Great content, Zach. Thank you for being so passionate about what you do and sharing your knowledge. Can I ask? I have a LinkedIn account and need to change my profile as I will be shifting careers. Do I wait until I'm QBO certified so I can put that in the description? I'm making a big swing from construction management to bookkeeping. Absolutely not. No, 100% no. Do not wait. This is what I preach all the time. Do not wait. Do not wait. Do it right now. I made a huge change. I was an infantry officer in the Army, and then I was a warehouse manager, and then I switched to bookkeeper. Totally different. I had no work experience. I had no college education relevant to accounting. I had no certifications or credentials when I got started. I did quickly become a certified QuickBooks Pro advisor, but no, I don't think you should wait, and here's why. It's going to take you at least 2 weeks, if not 2 months, to become a certified QuickBooks Pro advisor and to learn enough bookkeeping fundamentals that you feel confident to do the job. It's going to take you at least 2 weeks, probably closer to 2 months, 2 to 8 weeks to do all of this. It's also going to take you 2 months to land your first client, at least 2 months. So if you wait until you become a certified QuickBooks Pro Advisor and understand bookkeeping fundamentals, it's going to be 2 months. And if you wait another, and then if you start doing sales and marketing right then, it's going to take you another 2 months to land your first client. So what I recommend, save your 2 months, start doing everything simultaneously. It's a perfect opportunity. On LinkedIn, you can talk about how you're studying for the QuickBooks Pro Advisor exam. Like there's easy marketing content right there. Just talk about your journey. You don't have to pretend to be a bookkeeping expert in the very beginning on day one. That would be ridiculous. You don't have to pretend to be a QuickBooks expert. Just be honest, be transparent, be open. Tell people, hey, I'm starting a bookkeeping business. I'm learning QuickBooks. I'm learning bookkeeping fundamentals. I'm taking this course. I'm taking this college class. Talk about that on social media. Use that as your marketing content to tell people that you're starting a bookkeeping business. Start everything at the same time. Next question. How much interaction with clients do you entertain before you feel additional fees are necessary? How much interaction? There is no, I don't have like a golden rule on how much interaction I have. You're going to be able to tell. You're going to be able to tell, like, you're going to get a text message, you're going to get a phone call from a client, and then you're going to get that feeling inside your stomach. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, I don't want to answer this phone call. And then it's going to happen again next week. And then it's going to happen 3 more times next month. You're just going to get a feeling. You're going to kind of get a feel for which clients are a huge pain in the butt and which clients are not a huge pain in the butt. And it also depends on your client's financial position. And it also depends on being reasonable when it comes to increasing prices. If this is kind of a silly answer, and like I don't have a good answer for you, but what I want to say is like it all depends on like how much money they have, how much money like you're charging them. Like if you're already charging them $1,200, they kind of, in my opinion, they kind of deserve to reach out to you a couple times a month. But if you're only charging them $200 a month, then they should not be bothering you much at all. And if they're a brand new business versus they've been in business for 10 years, like if they're a brand new business kind of struggling, I might cut them some slack. But if they've been in business for 5 or 10 years and they have $100,000 in the bank account and they're calling me every other day, time to increase the prices. So it all depends. There is no, like you're just going to know which clients need to get increased and which clients don't. And it also kind of depends on like, how do you feel about that business owner? How do your personalities get along? Like if you jive really well with your client and like, I'm not saying you're best friends with them, but like if you just get along with them really well, you might be more okay with it versus if it's somebody who just like is really rude, really nasty, or maybe not even that, maybe you just don't get along with them, then, you know, sometimes you treat people differently. Not saying that's the right thing to do, but you know, we're all human. We all like and don't like different types of people. I don't know. That was kind of a weird answer. Okay, anyway, next question. How do you find your clients? Very vague question. How do you find your clients? Social media marketing. I will direct you to the links in the description of this video. I have a ton of resources. I have a 30-day social media marketing strategy guide that tells you exactly what to post on social media so that you can find clients. But it's all about social media marketing. Create content, find prospective clients, connect with them, engage with them, send them a message, yada, yada, yada. Next question. Do you think a tax lawyer and CPA are necessary to start a bookkeeping business, or at what point would you think they are necessary? No, definitely not. You don't need to be a CPA. You don't need to be a tax lawyer. No, you don't need any of that. I don't have any of that. I have a CPA who I partner with, so I refer all my clients to him and vice versa. He refers his tax clients to me for bookkeeping. Do you use PandaDoc to send the invoices or QuickBooks Online? Another great question. I have a link in the description of this video for PandaDoc. If you're interested, use my link to sign up. I use PandaDoc in my business. If you use my link, I'll receive a small amount of commission, but I strongly recommend, I use it in my business. That's the only reason why I recommend that you also use it. I use PandaDoc to send my client agreements, and then I use QuickBooks to send my invoices. All right, next question. Do you use numbers in your chart of accounts? No. Simple question, simple answer. No, I do not. Great video, Zach. Really appreciate the work You said you do 100 accounts payable for one client and 15 accounts receivable for another. How many hours are you spending per month doing this in total per client? The accounts payable takes me about 1 hour per week, and I charge $500 per month for the 100 accounts payable. For the 15 accounts receivable for another, that probably takes me total maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours per month. And I don't know how much I charge for that. Maybe I charge $100, maybe I charge $200. I forget exactly. Accounts payable and accounts receivable, I've kind of narrowed it down to, I think I said $5 per accounts payable and $10 per accounts receivable. Not sure if that's right, but I think that sounds about right. And it's not a set in stone 100% formula. Okay. Doesn't the software make the entries for double bookkeeping? In a small to medium-sized business, isn't there about 100 entries that a bookkeeper would need, and all he has to do is memorize them and use it in certain situations? No. So every business is different. We are not necessarily just doing journal entries. Journal entries are pretty rare, few and far between. For payroll, inventory adjustments, unearned revenue, prepaid expenses, you're going to do journal entries. Splitting interest and principal for loan payments, you'll do a journal entry. Anytime you acquire an asset or get a new loan, you'll do a journal entry. But I'm not doing journal entries every single day for all of my clients. Some clients, I don't do any journal entries. It's simply expenses and bank deposits for a lot of my clients. Very simple. A lot of them are owner operators, one person business. They own the business. They do everything in the business. They don't have any employees or subcontractors. Honestly, a ton of my expenses are meals, office supplies and software, and then job supplies and materials. I could probably put 90% of my clients' expenses into those three categories: meals, office supplies, software, job supplies, and materials. That's it. So as they spend money, I record their transactions. I'm doing very few journal entries. My motto is don't overcomplicate things. Keep things simple. I try to not include liabilities and assets unless I absolutely have to. A ton of my clients are just money in, money out, cash basis, very simple. All right, guys, that's it. 20 minutes. We're good here. Hopefully this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment and also join my Facebook group. I have a Facebook group. The link for that is also in the description of this video. Definitely join the Facebook group. And then finally, I have a course. It's like $1,200. I teach you everything you need to know. So you can skip watching hours and hours of YouTube videos and you can just sign up for my course. I teach you everything you need to know: bookkeeping fundamentals, how to use QuickBooks, marketing strategy, sales tactics, onboarding customers, delivering high quality customer service. Included in my course is the 30-day social media marketing strategy guide. Definitely recommend check out all the links in the description of this video. I made those resources just for you.